3 tricks to fixing your broken code. The most common error that beginning coders make is that they'll have an errant character in their code that is throwing everything off. And what I mean by that is that if you've forgotten a semicolon, if you've forgotten a bracket, that can honestly affect the code in a way that everything is broken. It's kind of a difficulty when you're beginning to code that you're probably going to make errors like that. So it's really important to have an eye that when you write your code, that you go over it again and again until you see that everything is correct. And like I said, it usually is something kind of silly, like you've forgotten a space here, you've forgotten a carriage return there, you didn't put that semicolon, you didn't put that closing tag, and it'll be something very simple. That is really the most common thing that breaks your code. So if you've been working on your code for hours and hours and hours, stop looking at it. Get up from your computer and walk away and do something else and come back fresh. You may even want to leave it overnight if it's not something that's urgent. Because when you look at it with fresh eyes after you've taken a break, it'll be a lot easier for you to see that silly error that you've made. The second trick is to show your code to someone else. So have a code buddy, someone that you can share your code with, and they can go over the code for the syntax error. Because again, sometimes when you're editing, you're looking at something, and this is the same with writing. You can look at something over and over and over again, and you still don't see that misspelled word, or you still don't see that grammatical error. But if you show it to someone else, they're going to pick it up right away. And then the third trick, if you don't have a friend to be your code buddy, is to use what's called a validator. So all you need to do is go to Google and type in the coding language that you're using and say validator. So you may look for HTML validator, CSS validator, JavaScript validator. And you'll find a ton of programs that basically do this check for you. You upload your code and you hit validate or check or whatever they're using in their program. And it will tell you where the mistakes are in your code. And some of them will even tell you how to fix it. So these are the 3 tips. Check the code again yourself, but make sure your eyes are fresh. 2, have a friend take a look at your code so they're fresh at looking at the code and can check where the mistake is. And 3, use a validation program that will be able to recognize the mistakes and fix it as well. So if you're ready to learn HTML and CSS coding, I invite you to join the workshop that I've prepared. It's a 3-day workshop that includes hands-on work where you're going to code your web page in HTML and CSS so you can launch that first web page by the end of 3 days. All you need to do is click the link and go to get.designerslearncode.com/jumpstart to jumpstart your learning of HTML and CSS coding today. Presented by Designers Learn Code.